They're not just cartoons, they're Nicktoons. Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 best Nickelodeon cartoon characters. Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're taking a look at the most memorable animated characters that made their debut on Nickelodeon.
Is that a problem?
How should I know? I don't have all the answers.
Number 10. Rocko. Rocko's Modern Life. This Australian wallaby lives in a totally madcap world where cows eat chickens, cats date turtles, and feet have faces.
Hold still, Spunky.
In the midst of all this surrealism, Rocko emerges as the only character that could be described as normal. Our protagonist wants nothing more than to settle down with a nice girl and have a quiet life.
Wow, a juicer.
Alas, he's a magnet for madness. Whether he's vacuuming the house or unclogging a toilet, a wacky misadventure waits around every corner.
Okay, mister, help me, the pain is excruciating. The doctor will see you now.
Although Rocko is frequently pushed to the brink of insanity, he maintains a gentle personality and giving nature. Rocko always comes off as practical and humble, even when he's working at a phone sex hotline.
I can do that. Good night. Oh baby, oh baby, oh baby. Rocko.
Number 9. Sir Nigel Archibald Thornberry, the Wild Thornberries. Though Eliza's the one who can talk to animals, her eccentric dad remains arguably the most outlandish member of the Wild Thornberry clan.
Good morning to you, Marianne.
A British zoologist with an unquenchable thirst for adventure, Nigel is like a walking wildlife encyclopedia.
Rather steep going, Eliza. Do keep your llama close to the wall.
Although Nigel sometimes comes off as oblivious, he's also good in a crisis and can adapt to almost any environment. He puts the well-being of his children and wife first, making him a loving family man above all else.
I must see if this weather has caused the weasels to shift to their winter white. Wouldn't that be smashing?
The great Tim Curry provided the voice for this quirky character, and you can tell that he had a smashing time in the recording booth. Number 8. Ren Höek, the Ren and Stimpy Show. Most main characters in Nicktoons have a kind heart and a sense of virtue.
That's it! I've had enough of your tomfoolery!
This hot-headed chihuahua is another story, however. Ren is selfish, psychotic, and abusive towards his friend/roommate/possible domestic partner Stimpy, who is another great character.
Bill? Buddy?
While Ren has a few fleeting moments of humanity, you can basically break him down into two halves, evil Ren and indifferent Ren.
You gave away $47 million!
Of course, that's what makes him a hilarious and distinctive character, especially in a show marketed to kids. Nickelodeon has so many role models that it's actually refreshing to see a protagonist who's unapologetically short-tempered and oftentimes mean. It works because Ren is rarely glorified, and often gets his comeuppance before the end. Number 7. Jimmy Neutron, The Adventures of Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius. This boy genius initially broke out into popularity with the release of his Oscar-nominated animated feature.
3, 2, 1.
Got a blast!
The 2001 film was followed by a spin-off series, solidifying Jimmy Neutron as a household name. As creative as he is intelligent, Jimmy can take an assortment of household items and turn them into a revolutionary invention.
Your pants may look playful now, but deep down in their pockets, they are pure evil.
With that said, not all of Jimmy's creations are an immediate success. As a matter of fact, many of them blow up in his face.
Brain blast! Libby, quick, I need you!
Oh, why, Jimmy, this is so sudden.
Nevertheless, Jimmy lives by the saying, if at first you don't succeed, try again, which made him not only a compelling character, but a great role model too.
For who am I? A mere mortal to alter the very laws of mortality.
Good thing we're in a tomb, cause you're boring us to death.
Number 6. Danny Fenton, Danny Phantom. If you crossed Peter Parker with Peter Venkman, you'd get a Danny Phantom. At the age of 14, this wisecracking nerd stumbles inside his parents' ghost portal and gains paranormal abilities.
If somebody catches me, I go from geek to freak around here.
Kinda like what you're doing now?
Now half ghost, Danny uses his powers to protect the world from dastardly forces.
Soup's not on today's menu!
I'm changing the menu permanently. Please work.
In addition to catching ghosts and keeping his secret identity under wraps, he must also juggle the everyday struggles of high school, making Danny an identifiable protagonist with relatable insecurities. Although he fights for good, Danny is occasionally torn between the light side and the dark side.
What have you done to our boy?
I am your boy.
With some help from his friends though, he summons the strength to overcome any obstacle. Number 5. Arnold Shortman, Hey Arnold. At the center of this cast of colorful characters is the titular Arnold, who provides a strong moral compass.
Well, you got the manners of an old billy goat.
Grandma, you know I never take off my hat.
This young boy stands out thanks to his football-shaped head and humongous heart. When a friend is in need, Arnold is always there to offer advice.
They had a beautiful meal and everybody got along, and they were all just thankful to be together.
He's also able to see the best in people, giving everyone the benefit of the doubt. As wise and optimistic as Arnold is, he's not without inner demons. His parents disappeared when he was only a baby, leaving him with crushing abandonment issues. With 2017's The Jungle Movie only answering some of the questions previously left unanswered, thereby leaving room for a potential revival, who knows what the future holds for our favorite football head. Number 4. Timmy Turner, The Fairly Odd Parents. As the theme song suggests, Timmy is an average 10-year-old kid with neglectful parents, a sadistic babysitter, and an awkward social life.
Okay, you guys, I wish I was older!
Fortunately, he has a couple of fairy godparents named Cosmo and Wanda to guide him through the hard times. Impulsive and irresponsible, this 10-year-old boy constantly makes wishes without thinking them through.
There's still other fun things adults can do. Finally, I can see a grown-up movie!
This only creates more problems, which can't be corrected with a simple wish. Thus, Timmy must use logic and reasoning to save the day.
What are you gonna do? Smush that banana on my forehead? Oh, come on!
Timmy ultimately realizes that true magic comes from within, helping him take the first step towards growing up. Number 3. Aang, Avatar: The Last Airbender. This is one of the most unique Nickelodeon shows, and the same can be said about its protagonist. Aang isn't your typical macho action hero.
You're an airbender.
Sure am.
He's a playful 12-year-old who prefers to take a peaceful approach instead of using brute force. Being the Avatar though, Aang is often required to fight, and will do whatever it takes to protect his loved ones. While he puts up a childish, lighthearted front, he's also overwhelmed with fear and doubt. On his journey to master all 4 elements, Aang is unsure if he'll be able to defeat the Fire Lord without jeopardizing his own ethics.
I can't believe a year ago I was still frozen in a block of ice. The world's so different now.
And it's gonna be even more different. We'll rebuild it together.
Upon finding balance within himself, however, Aang is able to bring balance to the world. Number 2. Tommy Pickles, Rugrats. You wouldn't think an infant would make for an especially compelling main character. Yet Tommy Pickles quickly rose to prominence as one of Nick's first true superstars.
Just a minute there, Scout. You don't want any of that.
Not bad for someone who isn't even potty trained. Despite his young age, this baby demonstrates the making of a natural-born leader.
Push it forward, Chucky! Then up to the left!
Plucky and curious, Tommy frequently leads his friends on misadventures that might seem small on the surface, but are epic from the perspective of a baby.
Tommy, slow it down! I can't!
Granted, his free spirit might land him in trouble every once in a while, but Tommy reminds us that life is too short not to take a few risks.
All right, ready, aim, fire!
Before we unveil our top pick, here are some honorable mentions.
Why was there bacon in the soup?
Wow. She's wonder...
If this D-class dingus destroys the Earth, Mom will dismantle me. Stand back, boys. Robot?
You got cat food in my dog
percentage.
That was a 2,000-year-old historical treasure. What is wrong with you?
There's nothing wrong with me.
Number 1. SpongeBob SquarePants. SpongeBob SquarePants. Since making his debut at the turn of the 21st century, SpongeBob SquarePants has become Nickelodeon's mascot and a cartoon icon.
I need it!
Though many feel the show has dipped in quality, SpongeBob remains a timeless and endearing character. Never far from best pal Patrick Star, this yellow sea sponge can find joy whether he's blowing bubbles, jellyfishing, or flipping burgers.
Are you ready to prepare for your shift? A good employee always scrubs his hands thoroughly.
In many respects, you could argue that he started the recent trend of sincere, optimistic lead characters in animated programming.
Well, maybe it's just because you're ugly.
Ugly? You gotta be kidding me.
Without a cynical bone in his body, SpongeBob lives to brighten the day of others. It's impossible not to love him, unless you're a Squidward, and no one wants to be a Squidward. Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.